Hello, everyone. I am ZHAO Chuang. Let's draw the head of Pinacosaurus. Before we start, let's outline the head on the paper. The posterior is about here, and the horns are about here, which can be presented with dotted lines. Next, let's draw a curved line, as we did when drawing the skull, which represents the middle of the head. Then, let's begin with the most characteristic nostrils. Let's first draw the inner bulge of the nostril. The nose of Pinacosaurus was surrounded by a large ring of thick contours, which consisted of some long bumps. Here is the top of the nostril, crooked. It is such a complex shape. Let's draw one side first. This is the outside of the nostril. From this angle, we can see their socket, probably a triangle. We show it with dotted lines. Next, we can draw a large bump in front of the eye, which is a large plate. Then, we can show the symmetrical part of the nose. And behind the nose, there are many pebble-like plates. After that, we can outline the anterior of the nose with dotted lines. The mouth opening is about here. This line represents the mouth opening, and this dotted line represents its jugal bone. Now let's draw details part by part. First, draw the beak, which is much larger than on the fossil, and its anterior can be drawn serrated, because many dinosaurs with a beak, such as hadrosaurs, and even some turtles today, such as ZHAO, had or have such notches in front of their mouths, which may be a structure that helps herbivores to grasp food easily, as may be the case with ankylosaurids. After drawing these notches, we draw the outline of its lower jaw, which is about here. Because the beak at the upper jaw is long, most of the lower jaw is wrapped inside. Let's complete the beak. Now let's draw the opening of the nostril, which may be a little lower, possibly in this position. Let's paint the nostril darker and draw some wrinkles around it like this to make it look like soft skin. Then let's outline this side of the nostril. Then, we draw the horn behind the eye, which should be much longer than the bone shown with the dotted line inside. So is the jugal horn. Because the keratinous structure was like the ox horn today, it was longer than the bone core inside. We can draw its mouth bigger, extending here. It had a big opening mouth. We can draw some wrinkles at the corners of the mouth, like some turtles. On the outside of its lower jaw, we can draw keratinous structures as sharp as blades, and the root of the lower jaw ends here. Then we can draw the other horn in a symmetrical direction. After that, we can draw its throat downwards, and its neck above. When drawing the neck, we should use light dotted lines. There were 3 sharp plates on each side of the neck, and a total of 6 formed its collar. We can see the 3 on this side and 1 on the inside. As for the second loop of the collar, we can just simply outline it. Now let's draw its eyes. The outline of this eye is here. We can draw the upper eyelid as a whole, because many ankylosaurids had bones in the upper eyelid. We can draw some wrinkles around the eyes. Then refine these details. Around the nostrils, we can draw some large and small plates that grow in a direction ring by ring. Below, we can show it as a ring in the direction of the folds. The further down these plates are, the smaller they become. After drawing the plates, we can deepen the folds to make it more layered. The textures of the plates can be lighter, and those of the folds darker to better show this layering. Then let's shade the plates on its nasal bone. And draw the plates on its face and around its mouth. Some plates were large and some small. As no fossil evidence of such plates has been found, we try to draw them naturally. The plates around its eyes were smaller. Let's just shape the upper eyelid into a whole piece. Along the keratinous structure on its lower jaw, we can first draw a loop of plates like this, and then draw various sized plates along this ring. The more variations there are, the more vivid it looks. The folds on the mouth can be strengthened. Now let's draw the jugal horn. Note that the keratinous structure was only at the end of the jugal horn. We can show the keratin a bit, draw some shadows in the lower part, and add some fissures in the upper part. On these depressions, we can also add some shadows. Then, draw large and small plates at the root of the jugal horn. Draw these plates with lines as lightly as possible, so that it looks different from the contour line and more layered. After that, let's draw its pupil, leaving a highlight. On this keratin, we can draw the texture of scratches. Here is located its ear, which can be shown slightly. We can draw some textures on these keratinous structures and all the bumps. But when drawing, we don't need to draw the textures evenly on the entire surface. Try to draw them in the shadows so as to show the sense of volume. Do the same on this side. Then let's draw some vertical stripes and horizontal growth lines on the surface of its beak. the lower part can be directly put into the shadow. In this position connecting the skin, we can also draw an array of growth lines and some scratches. Let's now draw some scratches on the keratinous structure on this side of its lower jaw. Similarly, on the keratinous structure on the neck that constitutes the collar, we can add some shadows and refine them with scale-like textures. Here, the lines can be looser. Lastly, we must draw some shadows below the neck, so that its head looks more three-dimensional. Let's appropriately add some details to make some plates more three-dimensional. Then, strengthen the folds. We also add some shadows below the jugal horn. Around the mouth, draw some dots, representing the feeling that flies might be attracted to. In this way, we've finished drawing the head of Pinacosaurus.